Welcome back everyone. So again, once more, I want to do another mid-2020 review of a phone that I think is probably one of the most hyped up phones ever when it comes to Samsung Galaxies. Beyond the Galaxy S8, this one is really up there and I love this phone so much, and that is the Samsung Galaxy S10e. Now, this one came out in 2019 last year and I've already done not only one, but I think like multiple reviews of this thing. So if you want a full review, you can check out the video I did earlier this year. This is not going to be a full review. This is going to be a pretty quick one. I'm not going to hit on everything, but I'm going to hit on the pricing structure, and that is something that's really important. So in the beginning of this year, this phone was selling for about $360 to about $370 in the used market. Honestly, even cheaper if you went on eBay. You could probably pick one up for like less than $300, but on Amazon, this was the pricing structure they kind of had. But right now on Amazon, you can actually pick them up, and they kind of depreciate a little bit here and there. They kind of went up in price a little bit, I saw, but right now you can pick one up for around $340 to $350 on Amazon, which is really good. So a little bit of a price decrease. That's something that I always like to see. Again, if you want to pick one up, links will be down in the description below for the cheapest one that I find on Amazon. It also helps support the channel at the same time. Now the body and everything has held up exactly the same from early on this year. Now luckily enough, there hasn't been too much screen burn-in on my display, which is really good. I've had this phone for about, I would say, 8 months now, and I have not seen any increase in screen burn-in. But keep in mind, I don't use these phones like every single day. Most of the time I use them for a comparison, and then I let them sit for like a week and then use them again, yada yada. But even then, I haven't really seen even a slight increase in screen burn-in or anything like that. It's still a really good display. So Samsung did a really good job on this display for sure. You still have that really nice feeling body, headphone jack, USB Type-C on the bottom, dual camera setup on the back, glass back, memory card still, and for sure the body of this phone has held up extremely well. We have since seen the Galaxy S20 come out and all those other phones, and for sure this one, it might not top the Galaxy S20, but it still feels extremely good in its own regard for sure. In terms of the software, since last year we have gotten One UI 2, which is really cool, but I've already reviewed that early on this year. Since then we've actually got One UI 2.1, which is really cool. Now I don't know if this phone got it, it might have. I have not updated my phone in a minute, but that's really cool that it even got any sort of update. It's gotten security updates here and there too, which is really cool. And software wise, I mean, I like One UI 2, I think it's cool. I like One UI 1, but it's definitely not my favorite. I would definitely prefer something like stock Android or Oxygen OS or something, but One UI is still perfectly good enough for a lot of things that I'm going to do with it. So I think for sure in terms of the way the software is, I'll say it's, good enough for the most part. So it's getting one more version of Android and that's probably it, which is really dumb. Hopefully it gets more, but I guess we're gonna have to wait and see what happens. So in terms of the software, that covers it. Now hitting on the performance, Qualcomm Snapdragon 855 chipset, octa-core CPU, Adreno 640 GPU, and 6 gigs RAM on the base model and 8 gigs of RAM on the top tier model. And like I said before, still holds up very well in terms of performance. The power is still there. Really nothing has changed too drastically from the beginning of this year to now, so that's a really good sign. Anything I did with it for the most part handled it pretty well. Can't really name any times that it was like super out there or it was like super slow or anything like that. Never experienced like that before, so for sure performance is still really good. Still more or less to what it was early this year. So if you pick up this phone now, you're definitely going to be getting a good performing phone for sure. So in terms of performance, that pretty much covers it. Even hitting on the cameras, 12 megapixel wide angle lens, 16 megapixel ultra wide sensor. You can do 4K at 60, which is really good. And this camera is still top tier in my opinion. It's still a really good camera sensor. It's not the best sensor, it's not the greatest, but it gets the job done like I've stated before. And for sure, if you're in need of a camera, if you're in need of something like that, this camera will definitely hold up. It takes really nice photos, and I think at the end of the day, you're definitely going to be very happy with the quality of photo and video that this thing can produce. 10 megapixel sensor up front, and you can do 4K on 30 on that as well, which is really good. So in terms of the cameras, thumbs up in my books. Now ending it off with the battery life, this might be one area that this phone may have, probably isn't the best at, but it has a 3100 mAh battery, which isn't small, but when you compare to a lot of the other market, like if you compare it to like the Galaxy S20 or the S20 Ultra or all these other phones, even the 11 Pro, 11 Pro Max, those phones will get you better battery life. But again, the S10e really wasn't, trying to battle those ones. It was more so battling like the 10R and the 11, but I would say even those ones have better battery life than this one. So it is what it is, but that's kind of one thing to keep in mind. So in terms of battery life, I'll definitely say it's good, but it's not as great as some of the competition out there, if that makes any sense. So to kind of sum up this video, man, the Galaxy S10e is still completely worth it in the middle of 2020. I still think it's a very good phone. It has so much going for it. And yeah, it's not the best phone, it's not the perfect phone, but for a lot of people, it'll definitely get the job done for sure. So that's really pretty much it. If you guys have any other questions or anything, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. Every single subscriber that we get really does count, so it means so much if you guys could hit that. Also check out the other links down in the description as well. My Twitter, my Instagram, my second channel, all those links are linked down below. I'd really appreciate if you guys could check it out. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.